Okay, we're back to the related stage code. Most of the material that's covered in this section, involved graphing of the parametrics or the polar coordinates, was done in math 120 at Essex County College, which is the pre-calculus. All right, my intent here is to just to review a little bit of how to do this with Sage, and part of this is just getting familiar with Sage. Reset, X and Y are variables. I think we've been doing this for some time now, right? I'm getting a little tired over here. I'm going to type this in and we'll talk about it, but it's an implicit plot. That means there's a relationship between X and Y, and they're going to graph that relationship. This relationship we've initially started with between -3 and 3 along the X-axis and -3 and 3 along the Y-axis. See that picture over there? Now, someone says, I don't even remember talking about that. It's the very first graph that we talked about. All right, let me close that out. I'm really not too interested in that. Let me do t is a variable now. This is going to be for the parametric one now. Var t. And again, I'm going to say that X is a function of t. And that function is cosine of 3t. And this is another problem that we did in the notes. All right, and we said y of t. Whoops, I got to say y of t, not t of t. There's another function that's a cosine. T plus cosine of 3t. Remember, if you type in something wrong, nothing's going to happen, but you'll get an error message. I'm getting a little tired of typing. Let me just, I'll do this parametric plot. And give me 1 second to do that. I'll copy paste. And we got that picture. That should be a familiar picture to you as well. That was also in the notes. It was also discussed. All right, keep going. Over here, a more difficult graph, and I do believe it's more difficult. I'm going to copy paste these. All right, so let's take a look. And y of t. There's a point to this, by the way. We're trying to get you to look at the notes. We're trying to get you to type things in. You're only going to just type that one in. Y of t is equal to sine t plus sine 2t. And then PP1 equals parametric plot. Notice I just hit the tab key there. I want parametric plot. Parametric plot of, let me just go through this with you. I want to do the ordered pair, X of t, comma, Y of t. It's an ordered pair. And I want the t to go between 0 and 7. Again, you can play around with this. I mean, you have this code now, you can play around with it. And certainly what I'm going to say is over here is nothing really happened. I'll tell you what happened though. This PP1 variable now, or placeholder, it's not a variable, I'm sorry. Placeholder is holding the plot. Now, if I want to show it, PP1.show. And there it is. All right. Okay. I would personally start thinking about learning more and more about a computer algebra system that you're interested in. Sage is a good option. Let me just briefly remind you that I have a website up here. Let me go to that website for you, sage.mathography.org. On that website, there's a guidebook for ECC students. What I mean by this, it basically targets the topics that we cover at ECC, from basic arithmetic all the way up to differential equations. It's a short book. It's about 50 pages long. Granted, there may be more information in that book that you don't want. If you do move forward, though, into other areas of mathematics, I would recommend you go to this guy's website, Gregory Bard's, And when you get to that website, he's also been kind enough to publish a book where you could download the book free of charge. And I think we've done this before. There's a black and white version or a color version of it. His book's much longer, though. His book is 300 pages long. His book is better, and I'll tell you why. It's been edited by the American Mathematical Society. People have looked at it. People have made corrections. All right, my book, very few people look at it. So, your mileage may vary, but the bottom line is, you've got to put the time and effort into learning things, and that's important. Thank you.